You're watching the only local news at 5:30. Fox 4 News starts now.
Hello and good evening. I'm Steve Eager. First on Fox 4 News at 5:30 tonight, court documents reveal what police say happened just before and after a Fort Worth woman was found murdered in her apartment following a fire. 31-year-old Ashley Harris was murdered Friday, November 28th. Police say because she turned in two co-workers for stealing almost $20,000 from the American Eagle store where they all worked. Fox 4's Phil Alvarado is in our Fort Worth newsroom with more tonight. Phil.
Well, Steve, Ashley Harris's neighbors at her apartment complex were awakened on that morning by fire and even water from sprinklers leaking down through the ceiling of their apartments. Police say that they were eventually led back to Harris's co-workers who were suspected in that theft back in August, but they weren't arrested for the murder until this weekend.
At the apartment where Ashley Harris was killed, a memorial with her photo cries out for justice. The arrest of Harris's former co-workers, 19-year-old Clarence Mallory and 25-year-old Carter Carol Cervantes, brings more details of how Harris was killed.
It's pretty gruesome to think that somebody would come in here and kick a door down and then, I guess, strangle and then try to set the evidence on fire, her body in the apartment.
Arrest warrant affidavits say Harris was found with her ankles bound with gray duct tape. Her hands were also bound with gray duct tape behind her back, and that her body was partially burned.
And just to think that somebody could do all that just for, some money.
Cervantes and Mallory had been fired from their jobs at American Eagle Outfitters at Hulen Mall after they were suspected of stealing nearly $18,000 from the store safe in August. Harris had identified the pair as the suspects. The police documents say Cervantes and Mallory planned to go back to American Eagle to take $40,000 to $50,000 in Black Friday shopping sales, but they needed the keys from Harris. The day after Harris was killed, Cervantes was seen on mall security video, police saying she appears to be trying to unlock the gate. What Cervantes and Mallory didn't know, the locks had already been changed.
She was extremely nice, extremely just positive. It was only for a couple seconds. We were walking our dogs, and I just felt just her positive energy.
Now, the day that Harris was killed, some of her neighbors spotted Cervantes' car in the parking lot, and that's what ultimately led police back to those two co-workers. Steve?
Phil, let me ask you a question. Ashley Harris, the victim here, reported the cash theft, what is it, almost $20,000 missing from American Eagle to police in August. Can't jump to conclusions, but if these two suspects had been arrested for that back then, maybe the murder wouldn't have happened. So what happened during that time period? Do we know as far as why they weren't arrested back then, or what was the holdup?
Yeah, well, police aren't saying anything more than what's in the affidavits, but the affidavit does say that the burglary or the theft investigation did kind of stall because the police were not able to contact the suspects. So they were looking for them at the time, and then once they were able to go back to them because of Cervantes' car being spotted at the murder scene, that's when they began putting surveillance on the pair. And the very next day, they actually followed them to the mall where they were supposedly plotting this second break-in. And actually, Mallory was arrested for not having a driver's license, but both he and Cervantes denied that they were doing anything wrong, that they had any plan, to steal from the store again. So they were released, and it took that time for police to build their murder case and make the arrest.
Okay. Phil Alvarado live in our Fort Worth newsroom. Thank you.